Welcome to House Edge. Before we start the episode, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe here on YouTube. And check us out on Twitter, TikTok, and Discord at House Edge Bet. Links down below. Enjoy the show.
How you doing, Bert?
Doing good. Had a pretty good week last week. Cashed a parlay. We both went positive overall. It's looking good.
Yeah, it's looking really good last week. I told you we just have to wash away the bad weeks and just focus on the grind.
Yep. Exactly.
Slow money, but we make money.
Exactly. That's all it's about. Yeah, we went in the NFL. You went 3-1-1. I went 3-2. And in college football, losing day for you 2-3. And I went 1-1-1. So lost a little bit on the hook to Vegas. But overall, positive weekend for both of us. We'll take it. And we'll take a little parlay cash too. It doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt the units.
Always helps it out.
But yeah, last week, another crazy week of NFL. The Cowboys losing in Arizona. I mean, they look like one of the best teams the first couple weeks and then go lose to the Cardinals, who they're sneaky good, dude. The under 4.5 was a bad play. They're going to hit over 4.5 when Kyler gets back.
Yeah, the team's got a lot of fight in it. And plus, I saw that it was personal for the Cardinals. Micah Parsons on this podcast saying that he's got Josh Jacobs and a target. So they really took that to heart.
Can't do that. It never ends well.
The Cowboys just love running their mouth.
Yep. Yep.
They haven't run anything in, how long, but,
yeah,
we're America's team.
Yeah, America's team that the rest of America does not like. Yeah, and then the other big story, the Dolphins dropping 70 points, easily going over in that game by themselves, almost doubling the over. What an incredible game. Whoever you took anytime touchdown in that game was probably bound to hit. When I saw the 70, I didn't even have to check if Tyreek scored a touchdown or not.
Yeah, dude, 70 points is actually wild. I'm looking at that score and it's like, is this college? Like, what is going on? How do you allow, as a grown man, 70 points on you?
In a slower paced game too. The clock keeps running when you get first downs in the NFL. Man.
I see Tyreek Hill on on TikTok after the game. He's playing Madden, dropping 70 on guys and then just going home playing Madden.
Yeah, going home playing Madden and talking about how he wants to be a porn star when he's done playing in the NFL, by the way.
Oh my God.
Just imagine being a Bronco. I saw an interview of one of their guys who said, I've been here 7 years. I'm tired of losing or something like that.
I saw that.
Bro, that's sad. Sad times. Speaking of sad, our combined pick last week, the Washington Commanders plus 6.5. They couldn't cover 30. What do you mean 6.5?
It's just as soon as you start giving people a chance, they screw you over again. I should never trusted Sam Howell.
Yep.
And that
4 picks.
Washington offense.
4 picks.
I still believe in Eric B though. Eric B is still a solid coach.
Oh yeah. I think it was just a bad game for them, right? Nothing was going right, and sometimes you lose by 34 to the Bills. Away she goes.
One of my favorite storylines from the week, the AFC South came out to play this week. The Texans with the win and the Colts with the win. Even though that Colts win was very suspect, there was a pass interference in that overtime that definitely should have been called. But I'll take the win.
Still, the fact that they could keep it close against the Ravens, and I didn't watch that game, but Anthony Richardson wasn't playing, right? Was it Gardner Minshew?
Gardner Minshew.
That man just finds a way. Finds a way to win. But the other side of the AFC South, the Titans, the Jaguars get absolutely destroyed. The Titans put up 3 points against the Browns. The Jaguars lose by 20 to the Texans. That definitely got a lot of people on Survivor.
Oh, for sure. A lot of people have the fade Texans strategy this year.
Yep. I mean, I was on the fade Cardinals strategy, and look where that got me with the Cowboys this week.
I also lost the Survivor with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
What a
Shifting.
perfect pick for next week. Can't lose back to back.
Yeah.
An embarrassment.
Exactly. Exactly. And they're at home. There's no way they're going to do it in front of their home crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving on to college. Our alma mater, Penn State, pitching the shutout in prime time whiteout game against Iowa. Our common play last week. One of our common plays.
Is unstoppable.
It really is. It's you guys, if you've never been to a Penn State whiteout, you just will not understand what kind of environment that is. As an opposing team, that has to be the most hostile environment in maybe all of. I'm gonna go
Definitely all college sports.
All of college sports for sure. It rivals some of the soccer derbies in Europe. I would say the craziest one is the Turkish Fenerbahce versus Galatasaray one. You do not want to go to the other team's stadium when those teams are playing each other. You might die. You seriously might die.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not that level with Penn State, but
yeah,
like they're not targeting supporters from the other team. They're just targeting the other team.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really hard environment to play in. Iowa learned, and I think Michigan will learn when they come to visit as well.
Yeah, I wish we would have saved that whiteout game for Michigan, or a much better opponent than Iowa. Because I think we still would have beat them outside of the whiteout game.
Agreed.
But one thing that I will say before, if just in case James Franklin is out there listening, let's stop with the Army-Navy goal line sets. We have athletes.
Yeah, we have the number one quarterback in 2022. Let him spread the field a little bit, man. Why are we running RPOs every time we get near the goal line?
And I would love to see an RPO. Why we got 3 guys in a line in the backfield?
True. Yeah. That's what that's supposed to be, but I guess we can't even do that. Pathetic. And then the other common play we had, Colorado just gets absolutely beat down. I'm sorry, man, but is Travis Hunter who makes this big of a difference for Colorado? When he comes back, are they going to be able to cover spreads again, or is this team a team of pretenders right now?
They don't have the offensive line. When you're watching that Oregon game, it's like most part to see. Like they just, those holes were just crazy.
Yeah.
We talk, those Oregon running backs could do anything. Bo Nix could do anything in the running game. And when you're that scared of the run, the pass is going to be open. Like,
who you got, Oregon or USC?
USC. I don't know if they cover, but I'll stay away on the spread. But if you want to throw USC money line into any parlays, I think that's a guaranteed lock.
USC's playing Colorado. USC's playing Colorado this week, but I'm just saying if they played each other, USC and Oregon, you would have USC beating them?
Oh, USC versus okay. Ooh. I got USC over Oregon.
Okay.
USC over Oregon. Caleb will make a play.
Fair. Yeah, Heisman winner. Yeah, that rounds out the recap for last week. You want to get into our NFL picks?
Yeah, so let's start off with our common plays for both. Let's start off with our common play for the NFL. We got the Chiefs minus 9.5 versus the Jets. What do you think of this pick, Bert?
I mean, I think it's kind of self-explanatory. We had the only Super Bowl winner in all of Jets history come out this week saying that the Jets need to move on from Zach Wilson. This morning, while I was running on the treadmill, they popped up a graphic. My man has a 50% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, and 4 picks. How does he have a job in the NFL? I don't get it. There's so many guys that would be able to do at least a little bit better than Zach Wilson. It doesn't make sense.
It's just gotta be the GM being stubborn, right? Like Zach Wilson's his guy. But I don't know. You clearly said that he wasn't. You clearly told everybody that he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't your guy. So it's like, I don't know what the allegiance is to him now. And then that Chiefs defense that no one expected is very good. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 9.5 is easy. I don't think the Jets will put up 10 points.
Yeah, and I
And
think the
I think
Chiefs
the
put
Chiefs
up
can put up
40 like last week.
yeah. The Chiefs
It's
can at least put up 20 against anyone.
like, do you see much separating the Jets from the Bears? Because I don't. I think they're very similar teams. The Jets have a better defense, is all
The Jets
I
have
will say.
the Jets have a lot better defense. I think their defense maybe isn't playing as well this year because they don't have any hope. Like, you're not going to win anything with Zach
Yeah,
Wilson. Why
it's yeah.
put the
I mean,
effort?
they have to bring in some vet. They have to make a trade, man. This Jets team needs to make a trade, both for our
Kirk
over
Cousins.
wins bet and for just in general. Like they have a good team. This is the time to do it.
Yeah, they need to go get Kirk Cousins.
Sign a 1-year quarterback. That's it. But yeah, Chiefs 9.5. Our first play, and then I'll move into my plays. My first play that we don't share, but we're kind of on the same side of this one. I got the Dolphins 3-point underdogs against the Bills. I mean, they're the most explosive team in football. They proved that last week. They got the most playmakers on offense, and the defense can do enough. That's what they've shown me so far. And I'm going to keep riding that wave till it dies. I can't believe they're underdogs.
Yeah, just you got to take some momentum. They just scored 70. So in that locker room, I don't think that they probably think no one can stop them. And everybody out there is also thinking, how can we stop them? And I still believe that Josh Allen is going to be, one day he's going to be the greatest, and one next day he's going to throw you 2 picks. So
Unpredictable.
When a good team like Miami is playing them, I'll easily ride.
Yeah, for sure. You have the money line, right?
Yeah, I have the money line plus 126.
It's yeah. I mean, I'm taking the points. You're taking the extra money. I do still think Miami wins this outright, so I'm with you on that. I'm just playing a little bit conservative, I guess.
It's gonna be a 20-point game, man.
I could easily see it, yeah. And then my next play, I got the Tex. I cannot believe I'm betting on this game. I'm betting a side on this game. Texans +3 against the Steelers. Both these teams are pretty trash, not going to lie, but CJ Stroud has really impressed me so far. I mean, he doesn't have the greatest receiving core on the Texans, but what he's been able to do, the numbers he's put up as a rookie, he has more passing yards than the Mahomes and the Burrows of the league. He has more touchdowns than a lot of players. He has less interceptions than a lot of quarterbacks. Just balling so far.
Yeah, CJ Stroud has been very impressive. That Steelers defense will be coming after him. That's why I would stay away from the game. But I can see the reasoning behind it.
Yeah, I mean, 3-point underdogs when they just beat the Jaguars by 20 is what I'm basing it on, but I'm with you there. TJ Watt's having an incredible year again.
I believe 3 sacks last week. So if we're keeping the track on the
he is currently breaking the record if he keeps this up.
I think it's 5. 5 sacks he has.
Wow.
In 3 games.
5 sacks in 3? I think he has more. I thought he had like 2 or 3. I'm gonna look it up. He has 6 right now.
6 sacks. Okay.
6 sacks in 3 games. There's 17 games, so that's 2 a game. He's on pace for 34 sacks this year.
He might get that record.
He's gonna get the record.
We're the only podcast covering it. Who's
for real? Oh man. But yeah, Texans +3. I hope he has a 1 sack game. Next pick. We alluded to this earlier. Cowboys 6.5-point favorites against the Patriots. I'll take this up to a touchdown and maybe even a little bit over a touchdown. The Patriots haven't shown me much except a 5-point win against the Jets at home, which I don't put a lot of weight on that. I'll put more weight on the Cowboys' first couple of weeks rather than that. And they played a kind of impressive Cardinals team last week, honestly. With Kyler missing, I can't believe they're doing the things that they're doing.
Yeah, I think this Cowboys team with that defense, they'll be able to cause so many problems for Mac Jones. You definitely have to bounce back after losing to the Cardinals. They don't want to go, get a second loss in a row. So I like this pick here.
Mm-hmm. Trayvon Diggs out for the season kind of sucks for them, but
I
he's their
think
biggest
played
playmaker.
a little bit into why they lost last week. Maybe the defense just needed a week to adjust without playing with him.
Yeah, we'll see how they do. I think the Patriots are a worse team than the Cardinals. So overall. So from what we've seen preseason, I would have said Cardinals. From what I've seen so far this year, Cardinals are better than the Patriots. So the Patriots are worse.
I don't know if I'll go that far yet.
Well, I guess we'll see this week. All right. My last pick, I have a Monday night game. Seahawks 1.5 point underdogs against the Giants. I was going to take it money line, but it's not paying out plus money, so I'll take the extra point just in case they do lose. Giants team hasn't shown me anything so far except the second half against the Arizona Cardinals. And I know they have been kind of impressive, but yeah, fluky is the way to put it. So I'm not sure that they'll be able to get it done against the Seahawks and stop Kenneth Walker. I mean, he's averaging like 2 touchdowns a game right now, right?
Yeah, I also am taking this. I'm taking the money line. It'll be in my parlay. I think that's a great pick. The Giants are trash.
Yeah.
There's nothing more to it.
Simply put, yeah. Daniel Jones is not him.
I paid him all that money.
Oh, man. I'd hate to be a Giants fan. A New York football fan in general.
Yeah, and they're on prime time every week.
Tough.
All right, we'll go over to my NFL plays. First up, I got the Jags -3. They're going over to London, their second home, so that's a big home field advantage there.
Forgot about
that. We also got Calvin Ridley going to play his former team in the Falcons as a revenge game. I think this is exactly what the Jaguars offense needs to get back on track. And get to paying out our over.
Yeah, after hearing these narratives, the Jaguars' second home, I've heard that one. They always win in London. Calvin Ridley against the team that banned him for betting. Come on, dude. I think we gotta bet on them.
Yeah, Calvin get 150.
Yeah, I'll tell you here. He's on my fantasy team, so I won't double down on him. But yeah, that's a good pick. Sorry.
Thanks, man. Next up, I got the Dolphins money line. We already went through this. The Bills aren't that good, and I'll take the Dolphins. Next up, we got Chargers -5.5 versus the Raiders. I'm taking 2. This game is going to be a lot of points. I was close on taking the over, but I think I'll just take the Chargers -5.5. Take the better quarterback. But there will be a lot of points in this game, I think. So I'm going Chargers -5.5.
What do you think this line would have been if Garoppolo was in?
2? Probably worth
2. You think he's worth 3? I think it would have been around 3.5 with Garoppolo in. And then I think the over would have been a good play. But yeah, I think Chargers 5.5 is the play here. Like, who's gonna throw the football for the Raiders?
Well, let's see who's the Raiders backup. I have no clue who the Raider backup quarterback is.
Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, give me the Chargers.
I will take the Chargers. That name, yeah, that guy has not done anything good in years in the NFL.
Yeah, give me
We'll take the Chargers.
I'll take the
points.
much better quarterback advantage.
Yeah, so Jimmy Garoppolo to any other quarterback, I think would have been like 3.5 to 4.5. But Jimmy Garoppolo to Brian Hoyer takes it to 5.5. Yeah, that's the Brian Hoyer effect. Take a point off.
And last up, I got the Ravens money line versus the Browns. With the Ravens losing that game to the Colts off that bad PI call or PI no call, I think they'll come into this week very focused. They already own the Browns historically. So we get a Ravens W.
Yeah, I mean, they got to bounce back after a game like that. Even though I'm very happy the Ravens lost that, the Bengals are still within one game of every team in the division after losing their opening two. So looking better, but yeah, the Ravens over the Browns, I think, is a good pick. The Browns defense has looked so good starting off the year, but I think Lamar will be able to spread them out.
Yeah. Every week, Lamar looks just a little bit better in that offense. I really think they're going to spark off something late in the season.
Yeah. Yep. Easily could see that happening. And the Ravens look like a playoff team already.
Yeah. It's going to be really hard to pick out playoff teams in that division, though.
Yeah. Oh, I think we could get, there's no way to get all four AFC North teams in, right? There's no way.
I don't think the Steelers make it. They don't have enough offense.
Yeah. They don't.
Can't run into enough bad defenses to make Kenny Pickett look good.
Yeah, but the Browns, Ravens, and Bengals could easily all make it with what we've seen so far.
Joe Burrow's got to stay healthy, man.
He really does. He really does. Otherwise, I mean, anybody else throwing the football there is going to be a problem. But he doesn't look the same. He doesn't look as accurate and polished as he did like at the end of last season or the season before. Needs some time.
There's a little bit of, I don't want to call it rust, but yeah, something's not just quite right.
He doesn't look acclimated yet. I mean, he's just not used to playing football.
But he's been playing football.
Yeah. Doesn't really make sense. We'll see. Titans this week. I think they get it done. They own the Titans. All right. Rounding out our NFL picks, I'll just recap it. We have the Chiefs 9.5-point favorites against the Jets. Common play. Dolphins 3-point underdogs against the Bills for me. Same with the Texans. 3-point underdogs against the Steelers. Cowboys 6.5-point favorites against the Patriots, and the Seahawks on Monday night 1.5-point underdogs against the Giants. Well, you got the Dolphins money line, Jags 3-point favorites against the Falcons, Chargers 5.5-point favorites against the Raiders, and the underdog Ravens money line over the Browns. Let's move on to some college football. Rob, you want to walk us through the common play we got?
Yeah, so we got Georgia minus 14.5 versus Auburn. Georgia is still on its old ways from last season, an absolute train, unstoppable offense, unstoppable defense. I don't think this Auburn team has enough firepower to really stay anything of a competitive game with them.
Yeah, I mean, 14.5 is just too low. We've seen all these Georgia lines so far, I think over 20. They've only covered one out of the four, but I think this is too low. They'll go to Auburn and win by around 20.
Yeah, plus it's SEC play. They know that there's time to really show up at a top-tier program like this.
Yep. Auburn just doesn't have enough in the tank, like you said, I think. Moving on, my first solo play is Oregon State 3.5-point favorites against Utah. Oregon State played a great game against Washington State last week. That was a lot of fun to watch. I think they want revenge for losing that close one. They're going to take it out on Utah. They're at home this time. Utah having to travel, and I think they've had iffy situations with their quarterback playing all year. Cam Rising, I think is his name.
Yeah.
He didn't play last game, and they still beat UCLA at home in a low-scoring 14-7 game. I think this Oregon State offense will open up that defense a little bit like nobody else has.
Yeah, I like this pick. Oregon State is one of the better offenses in the country right now. DJ is looking amazing. I like this pick.
Cool. Glad you're on the same side. I got for my next one, Penn State, 27.5 point favorites against Northwestern. This is one of the 4 teams that's undefeated against the spread this year. I've bet on them every week. I made money on them every week. So I'm going to continue betting on them. I think this Northwestern team is trash. They just let up 34 to Minnesota, right? And
Yeah.
I think they let up 24 earlier in the season to Rutgers, and I see Penn State as a better team than both of those, both on offense and defense.
Yeah, I think this is a great play. The minus 27.5. Team wise, Penn State has a lot more talent than Northwestern. The only thing that could stop this play is the play calling. We just are a little too conservative in the goal line. We're not putting in touchdowns. We're getting field goals where we should be putting in touchdowns. But Northwestern is so bad. So 28 points. I'm gonna lock that in.
Yeah, I mean it is a lot of points, but it's Northwestern, man. This team was underdog. This team was an underdog against a borderline FCS school earlier in the year.
And it's very reasonable that our defense can go out and pitch another shutout.
Exactly. Yep.
Or hold them to something.
Yeah, we just shut out Iowa. You think we can't shut out Northwestern? Back-to-back shutouts, though. That's asking a lot.
Yeah, that's why I said something low. Maybe like a 7 or 10.
Next up, Michael Penix is looking like a Heisman winner so far. I mean, they put up close to 59 points last week. I got Washington 17.5-point favorites against Arizona. I think they're going to put up 50 against this team as well, right? Nobody can stop that offense so far.
Yeah, this offense has been amazing. Like you said, he got a Heisman. He's definitely a Heisman candidate. Probably going to be a first-round pick. He is a junior, right? Yeah, probably going to be a first-round pick in this.
I remember Michael Penix being at Indiana when I was in school, right?
Yeah, so he's definitely
in 2019.
Yeah, definitely eligible. There's some crazy
like Bo Nix too.
Now. Yeah, Bo Nix, he was on that team with Justin Herbert.
He played against Justin Herbert, yeah. Oregon versus Auburn, and now he's on Oregon.
Oh yeah,
4 years later. Yeah. How crazy is that? Meanwhile, Justin Herbert's been in the NFL for 4 years.
Yeah. I saw this video, some guys like petitioning for his 8th year of eligibility. I think it's like a tight end.
This has to do with COVID, right? That's why people got crazy eligibility. Yeah. Michael Penix, I remember very clearly sitting in the student section at Penn State when Michael Penix had that reach out goal line touchdown that you thought he didn't get in. He touched the ball out like on the line out of bounds and then it hit the goalpost. They still gave it to him and Indiana beat us that game. Sad, sad time. And now he's at Washington, probably going to break records.
Okay. And now we can go over to my picks. First up, I have Michigan minus 17.5 versus Nebraska. First off, I'm going to start with Nebraska. We've already seen them against Colorado. The turnovers, QB play.
It's a bad team. It's a bad team.
And then they're coming up against Michigan. Jim's back. That team is ready to lock gears.
Back and angry.
They're ready to get to the playoff. 17.5 is nothing. Michigan.
Yeah, that's a low line. I don't know. 17.5 points. Maybe it's in Nebraska, but didn't Colorado win by around that much? No, Colorado was a close game against Nebraska, wasn't it? Or was it a blowout?
Yeah, no, it was a blowout. Definitely a blowout.
I think it was a blowout. Yeah, they beat them by 22. So you're telling me Michigan isn't going to beat them by more?
Exactly.
Easy. Good pick, Rob. Good find.
Thanks, man. And next up, I got Notre Dame minus 5.5 versus Duke. That Notre Dame team, I think they were the better team against Ohio State last week. They just made some dumb decisions at the end of that game, playing 10 men for 2 plays in a row.
That is, but You know what that tells me? That when they play in these big games and it comes down to a one possession game, I can't trust this coaching staff to even put the right players on the field, let
The right
alone
number.
the right number of players on the field. Not even like which player, the right number of players. So if
That
I
being
had to
said,
bet this game, I would take Duke 5.5, especially a primetime game in North Carolina. But I can see a Notre Dame bounce back as well. The reason
yeah,
I stayed away from it is Notre Dame looked good against Ohio State last week. They were
yeah,
going to win
Notre
that game.
Dame looked very good against Ohio State. I think you have to bounce back as a coaching staff, have your guys prepared. And I don't think I don't think Duke's as good as Notre Dame, just straight up.
I agree with you. I think
And I
that
think they're getting a cheaper line because they fucked up so bad last week.
that's fair. Yeah. But I could also see college football is an emotional sport. Duke at home, under the lights. This is their biggest game of the year, one of their biggest games of the year. I could see them
No, they
pulling off.
already had their high from beating Clemson.
True.
And they're
Yeah.
satisfied.
They are satisfied. That's true. Maybe they're trying to make a. They're not gonna make any
It's
college
Duke.
playoff runs. Yeah. Who am I kidding? Okay. So that rounds out our college picks. We had Georgia 14.5-point favorites against Auburn as a common play. I have Oregon State 3.5-point favorites. Penn State 27. We have all favorites. 27.5-point favorites against Northwestern. And Washington 17.5-point favorites against Arizona, while you have Michigan 17.5 over Nebraska and Notre Dame 5.5 over Duke. So go favorites.
Go favorites. Yes. Oh man, looking at this slate of college games, I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do with this week? There's a lot of tough lines out there.
Yeah, not very many top 10 matchups this week. Or top 25 versus 25 matchups. Sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
0 top 10 matchups.
0. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Moving on, our parlays. Rob, you want to give us your plus 500?
Yes. So I have a 3-leg. We're a little slightly under the 500, but we're going with Detroit money line minus 118. They're playing against the Packers Thursday night. I think the Packers snuck away with one on a Derek Carr being hurt last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think Detroit has been a much more consistent team this year, so I'm going to take Detroit. Then I got Denver. I can't believe that I am going to bet this game, but the Bears are the worst team in the league, and I think Denver will separate themselves from that madness. So I'm going Denver money line, and to final it off, I'm going with the Seahawks money line against the Giants, because as I said, the Giants are trash.
Very fair points. Yep, I'm with you on all three of these picks. So I have no problems with this parlay. It gets you to 472, almost at the 500. We'll take that. That's close enough. Yeah. For my 500 parlay, I went slightly over it, and I went with only over unders since those treated me well last week. I picked out the best over, and my other play I think was an under in the Steelers game, which also hit. Yeah. Which, speaking of, we gave out last week the Steelers money line and that game's under, which is exactly how that game went. So, air high five. But yeah, my parlay is the Atlanta Jacksonville game over 43.5. We saw the Jacksonville defense give up 37 to the Texans last week, right? I think Bijan will run all over them. And the Jacksonville offense has the firepower needed to put up points against the Falcons, right? I could easily see this soaring into the 50s.
Yeah, I like this call. Jacksonville at home, or Jacksonville in London. That offense will definitely be playing. And Atlanta has a really great running game.
Mm-hmm. Then for my next two, I have the winless teams: Minnesota versus Carolina under 45.5, and Denver versus Chicago under 46. Just 4 horrid offenses to start the season. I mean, Minnesota's offense is kind of putting up points, but I don't see Carolina's offense putting up any points. And I think Carolina's defense is better than the Chargers defense.
The Carolina's defense is a lot better than the Chargers defense.
Yeah. If you look at points scored, that's not the case. Points against.
Really?
It is still, they're not a lot better than the Chargers defense, but they are still slightly better. It's like 29th versus 25th, something like that for points against. But I was surprised when I saw that too. I thought Carolina's defense was better than that, but I think the offenses tell more of a story here.
Who put up a lot of points against them?
Let's see.
The Chargers got a 30-piece by Miami, almost 30 by
26,
Vikings.
26 to the Lions, 24 to the Falcons, 20 to the Saints, and then they let up 37 to the Seahawks last week. So that's what did them in. But I don't think the Vikings are as good as the Seahawks, simply put. I mean, I still think Kirk
might be better.
Yeah, offense is
Vikings
better.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hope it stays under. That puts me at a total of $5.95 for the parlay. See what happens.
I like that set.
Then let's move on to our longer odds parlay. Rob, you want to tell us what you got? 6-legger.
Yes. I have a 6-legger here. We're gonna hit 3 sports. So it's so crazy that it has to. We're gonna start off. We're gonna pick. We got 3 Premier League favorites: Man City over Wolves, Arsenal over Bournemouth, West Ham versus Sheriff United. So I'm taking 3 teams that are sitting up at the top of the table against some bottom and mid-table teams. And then we're going to go over to the WNBA, and we're going New York Liberty and Las Vegas Aces money line.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are 2 of the best teams in the WNBA in the semifinals. They're on a collision course for each other. We all want to see it. So that's what's going to make this happen with these 2 hitting this money line, taking care of business. And then last, I got Penn State. My boys got to do it for me.
Cover the spread. Do your job.
Minus 27.5 versus Northwestern.
I think James Franklin might be telling the players the spread before the game because we seem to play hard until we're covering the spread and then we let our foot off the gas. Which, if he's doing that, I respect it so much, James. Thank you. Keep it up.
I think college coaches definitely play to the spread because boosters bet it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The top programs for sure.
They want to cover that spread.
Yeah.
Yeah, that puts you at 11.15 for your odds. I mean, I like that parlay. The only risky play on there is the Penn State spread, which is one of my plays of the week. So could easily hit. And I like all the Premier League favorites as well. I don't know anything about the WNBA, but yeah, I would take New York over Connecticut any day.
There's better cities.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather go to New York than Connecticut. All right, for mine, this time I cheated a little bit, stayed under 1,000, but last week it hit for me. I got to go with another anytime touchdown parlay. Going slightly longer odds this week. I think Calvin Ridley, now that you've told me the narrative behind that game, I like this pick even more. Calvin Ridley, anytime touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, anytime touchdown. I think that's going to be his first one if he gets in the end zone. I think they'll finally use him. And is David Montgomery healthy?
Not healthy.
Perfect. Even better. And James Cook for the Bills. I think he gets in once against who were they playing again? The Dolphins. The Dolphins' offense is good, but their defense is not as good. I think the Bills will put up some points against them. That'll be a shootout.
Yeah.
But yeah, that puts me at 963. Just three sides to it and see if I can cash another anytime touchdown.
Yeah, I really like this set. Jahmyr Gibbs, I have him in so many fantasy leagues, just waiting for the Lions to really unleash him. Hopefully he gets that touchdown. He'll definitely be in my lineups.
Yep. And then for our last section, the Sweaty 16, Rob, do you have some that you do not agree with from my list here? I know we both have the Lions, we both have the Jaguars, we both have the Dolphins. Do you have the Steelers over the Texans?
Yes. Sorry, fans. I guess I'm being a bad co-host. I did not do my sweating.
It is
we're
what
gonna
it
do it
is.
live.
Well, we're doing it live, yeah.
We're
So
gonna do it live.
Texans or Steelers, who you got?
Texans or Steelers? Give me the Steelers.
Okay, so that's one we don't have in common. Vikings, Panthers, you're going Vikes, right?
Yeah, I'll go Vikings.
The Bucks are playing. Who are the
Saints?
Buccaneers? Yeah, who you
I got
got
the
there? You got the Saints, even without Derek Carr?
Yeah, I'll take the better defense.
Okay. Then that's another one we don't have in common. We both have the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
We both have the
Eagles.
Broncos. We both have the Ravens. Do you have the Bengals or the Titans?
Bengals.
Bengals. We both got the Chargers. We both got the Cowboys. We both got the 49ers. We both got the Chiefs. And we both got the Seahawks. So our only difference is the Texans Steelers, which we kind of talked about earlier. Just you're trusting the Steelers defense over the Texans offense, which solid point. I don't really have a better argument against that. I'm just trusting the rookie.
Yeah, I mean it's a 3-point. Texans are at home, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a home field advantage gives them the 3, so it's a tight game.
Mm-hmm. Yep. See what happens. And then the Bucks, Saints, you're taking the better defense. I'm taking the starting quarterback. See what happens there.
Yeah, the starting quarterback is Baker. That Baker bubble has to pop sooner or later.
Yeah, I kind of like Baker though. I like how he kind of went from a party boy college kid to now like a hardworking trying to keep a starting job in the NFL guy. It's kind of funny. Like
it's not like I'm getting any backup quarterback. I'm getting crab legs. Jameis Winston.
Oh my god, yeah. Jameis Winston was a starter for like 2 seasons. And he might be the funniest guy in the NFL, straight up. They need to have a microphone on him all the time.
I definitely have to sprinkle something on that over 40. I can definitely see this being just like Jameis Winston and Baker Mayfield. That smells like a shootout to me.
Oh man, did they play each other in college? No way. Baker was later.
No, Baker was later.
Yeah.
Baker was longer.
Okay, well that rounds out everything. Rob, you got anything else for the people?
Nothing for the people today.
All right. Well, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on TikTok. And then join the Discord. Everything can be found in the description below. It's been great talking to you guys again. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. You're out.